Basically, this game's very much more like Star Trek. You can just bang your way through the universe
Bang your
and
way
save
through
the day.
galaxy, yeah.
Bang your way to victory.
That's a game I want to play.
That's a game that you'd have to make for the iPad and then have a Bluetooth flashlight.
Just gone too far already.
Stuck
I
under
know
it.
where this is going to go. I knew exactly where it was going to go, and now I'm picturing it. Just
It'd be a banging pad.
just you wouldn't want to buy that one second hand, would you?
Oh God, no.
It'd just be gooey.
It's a bang pad, well used. Going cheap.
I think that's the opening. To be
Smells
fair.
a little.
I'm just gonna have to stop. So hello again. It's our historic 15th episode. I don't know why.
You remembered?
Yeah, I don't know why every 10th and 5th is like historic. I don't know, but this is so far over 15 hours of free content you're stealing from us. I guess maybe,
or maybe it's torture. I don't know. One of the two.
I don't. Can you steal something that's not really worth anything? I don't. But yeah, it's a busy. It's kind of a busy week this week, so we'd better just jump
into
it with the Dawn of War 3 beta.
This is good news.
Yeah, so it runs from 21st to the 24th by the looks of it, and you can play as Space Marines, Eldar, and Orcs, which is very similar to the Dawn of War, the original Dawn of War beta. I played the multiplayer beta then, and I'm sure they were the three. It might only have been Space Marines and Orcs, but I'm sure Eldar was in it.
But yeah, it's a nice run. You got a few days there where you can mess around on the multiplayer there. Get to know those three factions. It says that you can play, with all of them. So,
is this solely like a competitive multiplayer, or?
Yeah, apparently it's like a MOBA style.
Oh, I hate MOBAs.
I've never played one, so I can't really comment.
I don't know. I tried to play one, and I wasn't very good at it straight away. And just got destroyed for like several hours, and I was just like, I can't really be bothered to learn this. It seemed to be a lot of effort for very little reward.
The thing is, this isn't like a straight up MOBA. It's got elements of that, but it's still a strategy game.
Yeah, I think. The one game that's kind of like a MOBA, but absolutely not. That I actually want to try and haven't is Overwatch. We've really gone off topic here, but Overwatch I want to play and haven't. So, Dawn of War, I quite liked the first Dawn of War. I don't get on very well with strategy games anyway.
Yeah, I like strategy games. I'm not very good at them. The first game I enjoyed. It was good. It was big battle style RTS, but I much preferred the second one because you had squads which you could level up and give powers and stuff, and it was just a more focused game. More
sort of like action RTS, but it wasn't even like real time strategy. It was just kind of a real time top down. Well, no, that is real time. What am I talking about? I was thinking turn based.
Did you play Cannon Fodder back in the day?
Yeah,
it's that kind of thing.
Yeah,
where it is strategy, but you go off and you're controlling that little unit and going in using your abilities.
Yeah. So it was quite nice that you had like the three very different. So you had the sniper and the I guess one of them was a Terminator, and it was really enjoyed the second one. Third one I don't really know anything about.
To be honest, I haven't looked too much into it because I'm just kind of waiting for it to come out, and I'm going to see what reviews and what people think of it. But I'm going to get it anyway at some point.
It'll be the sort of thing that I will probably pick up when it's cheap.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I might pick it up at full price. I don't know. It depends how it's received.
It really depends. I mean, if this has like a sort of co-op campaign like the second one did, it'd be very easy for me to pick up.
Yeah.
If it's a sole real-time strategy, much more like Total Warhammer or Dawn of War 1, I might be a bit less interested. But we'll see. I
still need to go through Total Warhammer. I played a little bit of it, really enjoyed it, but like I said, I'm terrible at those type of games, so I failed miserably.
I'm not great because I tend to find one kind of troop that I really like and just build loads of them, even if it's not the best. But I thought that looked great. The dwarf bits that I saw really early, they looked really good. But I've not really looked at it since then, to be honest.
The trailer for Total War Warhammer 2 looks really. It was really good. Trailer showing off the new races and stuff. I think it was the High Elves, the Dark Elves, and the Lizardmen, and then there was a reference to the Skaven as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping that'll be good, and that's had a really quick turnaround as well. Well, to be fair, all they really need to do is essentially just reskin the game before and make some tweaks, and then you got a second game.
Yeah, I'm sure I read that there was Skaven in it. But yeah, I mean that's. I don't know. It might be good. Might not be. I'm hoping it is.
Yeah, I think Dawn of War 3 and Total War Warhammer 2 will be good.
Yeah. I mean, next on the list is one that I think is probably going to be a bit more exciting to me, certainly.
And to me as well.
Yeah, the Mass Effect patch. This was it was the they did say that it was coming. Did we mention this last week that there was a patch coming on the 4th?
I think we did. Yeah, I can't remember now.
Well, today's the 5th. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the 6th today. 6th day, and it's actually just dropped because I've just downloaded it.
Oh really? Oh, I'm gonna have to turn on my console and download it. So it's quite a big patch actually. It's more of a day one patch than like a sort of early patch. So we were talking about this just briefly. I guess if you're playing as Male Rider, which I think is Scott.
Yeah, but that's his name. Yeah. Although mine is Ivan.
Yeah, I just didn't change. I looked at him and I was like, oh god, you look derpy. I'm going to change what you look like. And then went through the options. I'm like, these are worse. I'm just going to pick the first one.
Did you not customize it? I customized mine.
Didn't touch it. He is just stock standard Scott Rider. The next time I play through, it will be as whatever her name is, Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah.
But yeah, just didn't change a thing. Just kind of figured he was daft enough looking as it was.
Yeah, he was a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean all the games. Fallout's particularly bad for like character customization, and this one was worse. But yeah, we've so the on the male side, there's more gay romance options for Scott.
Yeah, they got a lot of flack for this because if you were playing as a gay character, there was only two romances you could do. So getting the achievement for three romancing would require romancing with another sex.
But this is across all playthroughs. It isn't one playthrough. So you could be gay rider one time and then straight rider another time.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It got criticism for that, which I guess is valid. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I'm just trying to hump everybody.
No. Yeah, I'm very much from the James T. Kirk school of alien interaction, which is sleep with it, And if that doesn't work, kill it.
Yeah. So now with this patch, you should be able to have at least 3 gay romances, and you'll be able to get the achievement.
I wonder who the third one is then. So I know one of them's Liam, because I sat down there. I went through when I first started the game. I was like, right, I'm going to talk to everyone, and then I kind of found Liam on the ship and sat down on the settee with him, and then there was an option with a big love heart next to it. I'm like, I'm not going there. I'm just going to say goodbye and leave quickly.
Yeah, I just thought, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to start romancing everybody now.
Just romance everyone.
Yeah, everyone I can. Male, female, whatever.
Just really doesn't matter.
Whatever they are, I'll try.
I did find I'm going full on Vetra, who is the Taurian. But then you could also pick PB the Asari, Korra the human, and one of the new races, the newest race, the Ashtari,
Something like that. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Whatever their name, whatever the new race is. There's one of the women just in their home planet of Aya. Got the option for romancing them. I'm like, Vetra's not around. It'll probably be all right.
PB is my favourite one at the moment. I think she's an interesting character.
PB may be on a different playthrough, but this one's all about the Taurian. Because I've been able to romance it. Or could you romance a Taurian in the past?
If you were female and you could romance, oh fuck, what was his name? I want to say Garrett, but that's not right. Why is his name Garrus? Garrus, that's it, Garrus.
Oh, I didn't realise
he was my favorite. He was my favorite character as well.
The dirty great big man.
Him
swag.
and Morden from the last game were my favorite characters.
Yeah, Morden Solari, whatever his name was. He was great.
The Doctor, yeah, he was cool. Rex was really good as well. In fact, I loved all the characters.
Yeah, I liked Rex. Rex was good.
Anyway, let's get back to the patch notes.
Yeah. So, oh God, where are we? So, I've lost my notes. Improved tutorial placement. I didn't realise there was a problem with the tutorials. Not really.
I don't remember having an issue with it, but okay.
Who knows? Single player balance changes, ammo crates, armor, weapons, nomad stuff, profiles, attacks and progression. I've only found one particular bit where I've really struggled. And it was just because I had really low power weapons and just died constantly. So I went away, got some better weapons, came back and did it the first try. So, I kind of... that's always been the way with Mass Effect games with me. It's really, you've got to constantly upgrade your armor. I like that you only have to look after your own weapons and armor in this one, which I think was the same... in like the third one and maybe the second one. But in the first one, you had to constantly just upgrade everyone's weapons and armor, and it was
annoying. Yeah, I'm at the moment I'm not liking the system they have in this game. It's just I'm just finding it really confusing about what's good and what's bad and whether I should use this or not. And it's probably me just being dumb. I don't know. It's just I'm finding it quite difficult to figure out what I want.
Yeah, I find the worst one is sometimes you can compare the weapon that you have with the one you want to buy, and other times you can't.
Yeah, I've had that as well. I'm like, well, why can't I figure it? What is this better than the gun I've got? I don't know.
Yeah, I've ended up buying weapons that aren't as good as the one I've already got, and you can't even check your inventory when you're just kind of walking around. Just to be able to view it and see what you have equipped would be really handy. So that's my major gripe with the game.
I don't like the fact... Well, I was trying it earlier. Maybe you can, but I couldn't earlier. It's just if you pause and you go and have a look at your equipment and stuff, you can break down guns and whatnot to so you get parts from them or and what have you. But you can't equip ones. You can't just go, I want to equip that. You have to. As far as there might be somewhere on the ship to do it, but I've only ever been able to do it where. Oh, I know where I can do it. You go to the air dock, don't you? That's where you can do it.
Yeah, so
on the ship. Because I was thinking, I don't know how to do this. So I had to go
to the side.
Go out to a
forward station.
I had to. I had to go out for to a planet, and then it equips you a loadout you could change. I just remembered the fact that you had the thing at the next to the bridge, so I'll have to do that next time. But yeah, it's really annoying. You can't just press escape and go in there and mess around and equip things. And that why can't you do it? You're on the ship. You're on the ship. Why can't you do it? It
feels really backwards, and I mean my argument for it would be that you're like as a human, you can't kind of like you have your inventory is like 50 slots big, and if you equipped weapons, but the weapons you weren't using were left at your ship, so you had more inventory space, I would get it. But you carry the weapons around wherever you go.
Yeah, all
you
times.
You just can't change the ones you're holding.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's my one major gripe with the game, and it's a real shame because other than that, I'm really enjoying it.
Another gripe I do have with it is when you're on a planet, you can't have multiple missions and stuff up on your HUD. So you go, right, no. I want that, this, and this up, so I know what I'm doing. No, you can only have the one thing active, and you have to keep going back to your map or your journal to figure out what the fuck you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, it really slows it down.
That really annoys me.
I don't know, it's not really bothered me that much yet. But other than that, we've got multiplayer balance. Have you played any of the multiplayer?
I've only done the tutorial. I haven't gone into multiplayer yet.
I've quite enjoyed it. It's really just kind of like go in, play a couple of games. You don't really get anything for it unless you play the Apex missions. Unless you only play the Apex missions. But then I've been playing all the missions on the app on my phone, so I don't really need to play the multiplayer at all.
I've been doing the phone thing. Yeah,
I've really enjoyed it. I got to the stage the other day where I had like 80 odd things to collect.
Yeah,
and you
same
can only
here.
collect them one at a time.
Oh god, yeah, that's why can't I just collect everything in one go? Please sort that out. That's so annoying. Like, and you can have multiple things of the same thing, which is like, yep. Just cycle through, collect all, please, because you can collect all rewards from the science research stuff.
But I guess the science research stuff is all like local, whereas the rewards for the app minigame thing are online. So
yeah, that's true. But even still, you still think you'd have a collect all.
Yeah, you would. So it's a bit that's really awkward. Option to skip autopilot sequences in the Galaxy map. Looking forward to that because it takes forever.
Yes. Oh, that makes me happy. Like the first time you watch it, it's nice, it's pretty, and then when you have to keep doing it, it's like, oh.
Especially if you accidentally back out and then have to go in again.
Yeah.
Improved logic, timing, and continuity for relationships and story arcs. I'm not. I understand the words individually, but in a sentence, I'm not really sure what it means.
Basically, it'd be how you, the way you go to talk to people, will be how you further along your relationship. So it'd be kind of like, I imagine it'll be picking it up through a progression. Like, think of it like an XP level. The more you go talk to them, the more likely they're going to sleep with you. So if you're just pottering around and not doing enough, you might miss timings and stuff. I know, something like that maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
Maybe. Improved lip sync and facial acting during conversations. I mean, that's
That's the big one, isn't it?
I did hear that they'd outsourced the like facial animation to a different company.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
So that might have been the downfall to it, especially if they were just like, oh my god, we're on a tight frame here. Just anyone who can get it done in time, just here, take care of it.
The thing is, when it comes to outsourcing stuff, you'll try to find a company that's relatively cheap, and you'd hope that they have good feedback and have done games before. But every game is different, and every game studio and how they make games is different. So communication is obviously key in that fact. And just because you're putting out to another company and it's essentially offloading work to you, it can actually create more work. Such as this. Them not being able to live up. Maybe they've taken on your job and another company's job, and their resources are thin on the ground as well. So there's all these kind of things that come into play.
Yeah, and it could be that the company you've outsourced to, if they're a new company and it's not like they've not got the experience, or they've sort of talked themselves up further than they should be. I guess there's a lot of history with games companies that will like outsource, or like a games company that get sort of recruited by a publisher, and they say, right, can you make this game for us? And they'll say, yeah, of course we can make the game for them, despite the fact they know they can't make the game for them, but they just want to have a go, I guess.
Yeah, these kind of things happen, and it can cause a lot of problems later on down the road, especially when you're coming up to launch and this company say it hasn't done very well, and they're not going to have time to actually finish it or whatever. It causes issues for the rest of your game. I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened here, but it's a possibility.
Yeah. Well, either way, I hope they pick it up soon. It's not really bothered me. Or I've seen videos where it's a lot worse on other people's games. Mine seems to have been fine, so not too issue.
I think it works for the most part. Sometimes it just looks a little weird.
Yeah, but that's fine. So fixed various collision issues. Not found any collision issues.
I've had a few things as I've been playing.
Fixed bugs where music or voiceover wouldn't play or wasn't correct. I had one the other day where he like the subtitle for what Ryder was going to say popped up on the screen, and he didn't say anything for a good 2 or 3 minutes, and then suddenly read it out, and then the conversation carried on.
I haven't experienced that yet.
No, that was
hopefully I won't now.
Yeah, maybe. Fixed an issue where squad mate banter sometimes wasn't firing on UNCs. No idea.
I haven't experienced that either. They've all been pretty. They've been hitting their spots where they need to.
Sometimes I find they took too much, but not as bad as Dragon's Dogma. Fixed issue where player was unable to access the Remnant console interface after failing decryption multiple times. I had this. Simply because the first time I was doing the decryption, I had no idea what to do, and it didn't explain itself very well.
I failed it the first time, and then I realised what I needed to do the second time.
I failed it sort of 3 or 4 times because I was pressing all the buttons and nothing was working. And then I just couldn't get back into it. So I think I just reloaded a save because I'd lost a lot of health and ammo. So it was only the first one though. After that, I know what to do. I've not had it the second time. Fixed an issue where fast travel is sometimes disabled after recruiting Drac until the player reloads a save. I don't think I had that one.
No, I've not had that issue.
Fixed an issue where Ryder. Oh no, I did read one where Drac kicked that, like when you first meet Drac, he kicked that like monster thing through a window and then cut a lump off it. And and you're supposed to go in through that window to pick up something to further the story, and people couldn't walk past because it thought the window was still there.
Oh, really?
I've seen people complain about that. It didn't happen to me.
No, it didn't happen to me either.
Fixed an issue where a rider can be stuck at the beginning of a biotic charge. I don't use the biotics in this one.
No, neither have I.
I've gone full tech, so I've got a little floating turret, and I electrocute things, and that's fine.
That'd be annoying at times, that's for sure, in the heat of battle.
Yeah. Issues related to saves, didn't have any. Objective sometimes becomes uninteractable for players in multiplayer. Not came across that. And then it's just sort of stability issues. But their character, more options and variety in character creator. Maybe the next time I play through it won't be so bad. Ongoing improvements.
These are upcoming.
So
patches.
these are coming over in the next couple of months. Improvements to male romance options for Scott Ryder, which we've talked about, and adjustments to conversations with Hanley Adams. Now this is Abrams, actually. This is the one that has caused so much grief. Jesus. Do you know who Hanley Abrams is?
She's the transgender character, I believe.
Transgender character, yeah. So
I haven't met her yet.
No, I think she's just a random NPC on the ship that you can on the space station that you can talk to. So the first time you speak to her, she says, "I wanted to get away from Earth because I had a boring job as a lab assistant called Steve, and I just wanted to come somewhere else and like start a new chapter in my life." And I'm just like, "All right, that's fine." So that's you're a man called Steve, and now you're a woman called Hanley. I don't.
It seems like the outrage about it is because they just come out and say it straight away.
Yeah,
they don't even know you, and they're just coming out with that. Entirely
it. I mean, transgender people don't exactly wear a T-shirt saying "Talk to me about my gender" and carry around a rainbow flag wherever they go. I mean, it's. I guess a lot of people that I suppose the aim it. Well, these are people that. Were born in a different body but are by all accounts female, so you could just be this Hanley Abrams character would have been a woman who was born into a man's body. And she wants a female body, and that's it. She doesn't want to be asked about it, doesn't want to, it's something that did happen but doesn't have it anymore. It's like if you have a wart removed from your hand. I'm not trying to say that all transgender people are warts here. So this is a real minefield. So and you can
no matter what you say, you're a straight white male. No matter what you say, you're fucked. The thing is,
it's like having an operation and then everyone asking you about what you were like before the operation. It's not.
See, I haven't got to this bit yet, but from what I hear, people seem to be upset the fact that they just come out and say, "Oh yeah, I'm trans, by the way." Yeah. Without the first time you meet them, it's kind of you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't situation. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, they put a transgender character in. Okay, they don't mention that they're transgender. Then you will get people saying, "Well, why is there no transgender people in?" and blah 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 blah. And you go, "Okay, we'll put one in," and then you put one in, and you make it blatantly obvious that there's one in, and then they still make. It's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
The argument here is like transgender people want to be seen as the sex that they. I'm not even going to say believe they are the sex that they are, but weren't born as. Jesus, this is hard work. So and
that doesn't just mean male and female. That means whatever they identify as well.
Yeah, but then I guess the goal is to be seen as that gender and not as like a different gender that's trying to be. So Sonic.
It's impossible to know until you ask somebody.
Yeah. But like it really does, if they don't say, then anyone can be anything. Mario, born a man. Born a woman, does it matter? Not really. No, never once does he say I was born a woman, but I felt I was a transgender woman in a man's body or whatever. So he's transgender now. Sonic, why not? Sonic could be a woman. The cartoons portray him as a man, but the games don't really matter. Could be anything. In fact, he kissed a human princess in one of the games, so could be a lesbian hedgehog. Who knows?
Who the fuck cares? I don't care. Be who you want to be, and that's it. I don't worry about what people think.
No, I guess it's I guess from like my side, I don't really care, and it really makes no difference to me one way or another. But maybe like some transgender people would feel that would be kind of supportive to other trans. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to justify for justifying's sake now.
Yeah, we'll just go around in circles. We don't need to.
Yeah, so let's. I mean, that was a long time talking about the patch notes for a game. So yeah, the third kind of newsy thing is like the Xbox indie stuff.
Yeah, the ID Xbox.
And the Xbox team have come forward and said that the Xbox doesn't need their No Man's Sky type game, and I'm not surprised. To be honest, I don't think anyone needs No Man's Sky now.
Well, it's like the question is, well, PlayStation had No Man's Sky, and it was a big indie title that Sony pushed as well, and then when it went tits up, they were like, well, that wasn't us, that was them. Not giving them any support. They just published it and then published the shit out of it, and probably made them release it before that team was ready, because they're such a small size, so it probably didn't help with the whole situation. I mean, they've done several patches now, and it's meant to be working much better. Frame rate's much better, and
I mean, by all accounts, it should be a much better game than it was on release. I mean, I enjoyed the game. It was one of these games where you had to make your own story and your own objectives, like Minecraft. If you go into Minecraft expecting an overarching story, it's not the game for you. You have to be like, right, what am I going to do today? I will go over here and do this and do this and do this, and these will be my goals. And that's how you had to go into No Man's Sky. So I went into it and thought, I wonder what's over this ridge. I wonder what's in this hole. I wonder what these aliens do. I wonder. So I kind of made my own story with it, and I enjoyed what I played, and I got the warp drive, and I warped and warped and warped, and I was like, I'm nowhere near the centre of the galaxy. Let's see what happens when you get to the centre of the galaxy. And when I figured out, I never got there. I just watched a video, and after I watched the video, I was just like, I don't need to play this anymore.
See, basically, Microsoft just saying that they like having the indies making games on their console. They're very happy for him to be there. They'll give them help and guidance for making games on their system if the dev contacts them, but they've got basically no interest in publishing or getting exclusive rights to be on the console. It's all left up to the developer to do what Microsoft aren't going to do anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how like indie games have to be. They have to be like No Man's Sky needed to be an indie game, but because Sony picked it up, it suddenly became like at least a AA game.
Yeah, definitely.
And it came with all of the pitfalls that a published game comes with, like time frames and like quality, required quality levels and things like. If No Man's Sky would have continued as an independent game,
it probably wouldn't have released for another couple of years.
No, they'd have said, sorry, it's just not ready yet, and they'd have pushed it back, and when it got
released,
it would have been a much better game. Sure, they might have lost a bit of interest in the time. But yeah, I'm not surprised that Nintendo, that Microsoft have said they don't need a No Man's Sky game. And I think it's probably better for the developers as well.
Yeah, that's true.
The Scorpio. The Scorpio's a thing.
It is. It's the main topic now. Let's get on this. Good news, everyone.
Yeah.
I tried to get that in my mind then.
That was bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Project Scorpio. I'm not even going to call it Scorpio. I'm just going to call it Project Scorpio. They like this afternoon at 2:00 they had a video thing apparently.
Yeah, Digital Foundry had an exclusive.
So yeah, there was a big exclusive, and they showed off the specs and things. I mean, the only thing I could take away from it was the specs, because everyone talks a big game. Microsoft talked a big game with the Xbox One. Sony talked a big game with the PS4. Nintendo have basically said nothing. They just said, here it is.
No, that's Nintendo's way. They don't like telling anybody anything.
No, quite. So, I mean, I've just kind of looking at the specs and the things it can do. It kind of made me look at the Project Scorpio and think, well, I was planning to get a PS4 Pro, and then the Scorpio is announced with all these sorts of bells and whistles, and Microsoft are really trying to make it easier for the developers and to port across to it, and it basically more than ever now it's a PC in a box. And I sort of thought, well, maybe is it worth not getting a PS4 Pro and just buying a Scorpio as my go-to console and having the PS4 as just my exclusives console? Or and I mean it's kind of thrown everything into question a little bit, but it's not even for I'm not even sure the Scorpio is going to do anything like a lot better.
Well, I was watching the Digital Foundry videos just before we started recording this, and because I just read the specs while I was at work, and I was like, it's all right. Definitely the most powerful games console. That's going to be true. It doesn't look that much more powerful than a PlayStation Pro, so we'll probably get slightly better performance. But I imagine games will be running at 4K 30 and 1080p ultra kind of settings. So when I got back, I was watching the videos, and I was a bit, this is probably going to be right. But it's made me a bit more excited watching the videos and hearing. I forgot the guy's name. It's completely gone out of my mind. Anyway, the main guy from Digital Foundry, he was talking, and it got me a little bit more excited about the prospects of Scorpio. I don't know if I'm interested in actually buying it, because I've got a PC and I'm about to get a 1080 Ti that will crush the Xbox Scorpio anyway in performance. So all my main game is on PC, and it's going to be 4K 60 on that. So it's not really going to tempt me. I have an Xbox One S which has the 4K Blu-ray player, and that's essentially what my Xbox has become now, a Blu-ray player. Maybe playing the odd game. But yeah, it's going to... They showed him a demo of the Forza 6 engine running on it. And it was the 1080p game, but did have access to the 4K art packs that like the PC version would have, and it was rendering the cars at the front of the screen in 4K, and the ones that are further away in the screen in a lower resolution, and excuse me, and then it was running at native 4K at just over 60 FPS, and it was using 66.1% of the GPU and about, I think it was about 50 or 60% on the RAM. So there's loads of headroom there. So in theory, you could have native 4K games running on this, but I don't think that's going to actually be the case. I think you'll be able to have the 4K resolution, but it will be on probably like medium settings for the game. So they're not. It's some pretty cool tech that they've actually built into it, because they built the system to actually tailor to, because you know how silicon is different in every single chip. So you can never get a perfect batch. So what graphics companies tend to do is they'll get a load of chips made up. They test them to see how good they are, and the good batch will go in their high end cards, and then the ones that aren't performing as well would go in their lower ones, and the ones that aren't that good at all will be on their lower cards. So you kind of play like a silicon lottery, people call it, to see how good you can overclock these kind of things. So that's why when it comes to overclocking, there's so many variables in it that you can't just go, this is how you're going to get exactly this if you overclock using this card. You can get an estimate. I'm getting this because of this. You might get this. It obviously depends on what system you've got there, and what the silicon is like in those chips. So what they're doing with the Xbox silicon chip is, I forgot what they called it, but it's one of the guys who works for Microsoft came up with this idea. They've something like Henning, something like, I can't. It began with a H, and what it does is this. It tests every single every single chip that's been created and put on the board, and then runs it as efficiently as possible to that chip. So you'll be able to get these high frame rates and whatnot, and get the ability to have every single chip that's made and put on the boards, which is really fucking good.
Yeah, it's really clever. I mean, you got
12 gig of RAM on there compared to the 8 gig of GDR5 RAM that the PS4 Pro has.
Yeah, I mean, and it runs sort of, I want to say, significantly faster. So, 8.
Oh yeah, a lot faster. I think it was like a 60% boost or something. It works out to be. Basically, the old one was running at like 1.75 gigahertz, and now it's going to be running at 2.3 gigahertz.
Yeah, 40 customized compute units at 1172 versus the 36 at 911 for the PS4 Pro. 12 gig versus 8 gig, 326 gig a second versus 218 gig a second, and a 4K Blu-ray if you care about 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah, well, you should do.
Yeah, I've not watched media on a disc in so long.
I do quite often because I like my Blu-rays.
It's not even that I don't like Blu-ray. I just don't have the time or the energy. So I mean, I don't see why this thing can't get native 4K 60.
Oh, it's not going to get 60. Just with all the thing is, what it could do in 4K 60 is all the existing games now. It'll be able to. Well, the way it's going to work is if you got a game that an old Xbox One game, and it's running at 900p, it will continue to be 900p, but it will upscale it to the 4K. And you'll be able to, it'll have a few tweaks in it that the system actually would, force, so you can see further in the distance and not be so jagged, that kind of stuff. And it will run at its optimal frame rate, so it'd be like whatever the games company has locked it at. So if it was locked at 30, it'd be still running at 30. If it was flexible going up to 60, it would then run at the highest 60. If you've if you've got games that like Halo 5, the way they work is their pixel count scales. So if it'll be running at say 1080p, but if there's a lot going on, to keep the frame rate up at 60, it drops the pixel count, so it'll go down to like 900p, but it'll keep it running at 60, so you won't really notice it, but you'd notice a frame rate drop. But if it's keeping the frame rate up, then that'll be fine. So this will be doing it. So in theory, you'll be able to do that 4K 60 using those assets.
Well, everything's sort of said. I mean, granted, you've got Forza running at 4K 60, and only using like 60% of the resources for the GPU and the RAM. So,
yeah, but you don't know exactly what's right. Like that's probably on, a sunny day, so you haven't got weather effects or particle
no,
effects.
this was the screenshot they have. It's clearly raining, and they've got raindrops going down the. But
I don't know. Until I see actual footage of that, then.
Oh no, it's still very early day. I mean, that's probably like very, very best case scenario.
It would be awesome if it could run games at 4K 60, with ultra settings, but I just can't see it happening. It's just no. No matter how smart they've done the GPU of and the CPU of, you're going to be able to run games at 4K. It's probably going to be 4K 30, and it'll probably be medium to high depending on the game and how they've optimized it. I can't see. I hope I'm wrong. That'd be awesome if I'm wrong. But I just can't see that happening.
I mean, this thing says the team can push Forza to the equivalent of PC's ultra level settings, and you're still at 88% GPU.
We'll
so,
see.
And that's 4K 60 ultra settings, 88%.
You see, for that you needed a 77K processor. You needed really fast RAM, and you needed a Titan XP to get that. And that was all overclocked as well. So I just can't see that happening.
You can do it. It's clever. I mean, although a console is effectively a PC, it has basically none of the footprint that a PC requires. I mean, with a PC, you've got all these different boards, and that adds latency and all these other things. But if it's all in one chip and all in one place, then
oh yeah, you can definitely optimize. Definitely. I just like it would. I would really like it to be doing 4K 60. I just don't think it's gonna be able to. On older games, yeah, but on new games, I just can't see it happening.
I don't know. I will still. I guess the proof is in the pudding at this stage, because this is the first time it's been kind of talked about.
You see, the guy from Digital Foundry, he seems very happy about it, and looks like it's going to be a really good console, which I really hope it is.
I mean, the guys at Digital Foundry always seem to be a bit. They always kind of go in with like the worst kind of view, I suppose. Like everything that I've read from Digital Foundry, they've always been a bit like, well, yeah, it's okay, but this sucks and this is bad and they could do this better. And so if they've given it kind of like a good review and a thumbs up, but is that just because it is genuinely good, or because Microsoft have come to them and said, hey, do you want to come and see our new thing which no one knows about yet?
No, it'd be just he knows his tech and how these things work. If he's positive, we should be positive as well. But the thing is, it's just an impression at the moment. You won't know until that you get that retail deck.
Yeah, well, this is all like the final build.
Yeah.
So they've got the final motherboard. It's not as if this thing is a PC with the correct components. I mean, these are the final. This is it. This is the machine itself.
Yeah, it's going to go into production, I guess, fairly soon if they want to release it before Christmas.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, they've got some exploded components, and
I'm really looking forward to E3 and see what they're showing, and I'm hoping they really show off how good the tech is and how exactly they can achieve the 4K, and show footage of not just one game but several games running at 4K 60.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see new games running at 4K, but I've not even got a 4K TV yet, so that's
Yeah, but the great thing about that is you can have your games running in 4K and everything, and downscale it to 1080, and it'll look gorgeous.
So I guess the big questions now are: is the hard drive going to be removable and replaceable like the PS4's gone?
Well, that'd be interesting, because they were saying in the video I was watching earlier that load times, they've had to have a fast hard drive, so load times can load in the 4K content quickly, and then that also, obviously, because you got a faster drive, means older games will load even quicker.
So is that? I guess that's. But the thing is, I sort of thought maybe Microsoft would think, well, Sony have done it, and people are going crazy for it, and it's one of the major criticisms we get, that the hard drive's not kind of user replaceable. Maybe we should do that. But then, like, it was the same on the PS3, and people loved the PS3 for it, and everyone criticized the Xbox 360 for it, and they didn't change with the Xbox One. You
could remove on the 360, because you had the original 360 had the removable thing, but you had to buy the hard drive from Microsoft. That was a problem. And then on the Xbox Slim, you could pop it out, but again, you had to buy one from Microsoft. That was the problem.
Yeah, not truly like, not like the PS3. Just slap any old laptop hard drive in there. I mean, now more than ever, the original the Xbox and the Xbox One S kind of just feels like the practice for like the Xbox, the Scorpio. I mean, the Scorpio feels like the proper console this time.
Yeah, they made mistakes on the last one, and they paid for it, and now they seem to have they've learned from what it appears that they've learned from that, and because of that, they've also been able to look at how the game engines run on Xbox One, and with this new one, when it comes to backwards compatibility, be able to run games much better.
Yeah, I'm not even quietly optimistic. I'm loudly optimistic about it. I think it's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with it in the future.
So based on that, what's come out today, which is all very good, positive news, I think. If you were waiting off from either buying a PlayStation Pro to see what Microsoft had in store, it's definitely a positive thing. What do you think the price is going to be for it? That it's going to be more than a PlayStation Pro for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking £500 to £550. That is. Dollars, yeah. Probably $499.
I've been reading a lot about it, and I mean, people seem to be saying, I mean, the PS4 Pro was what, 250?
No, it was 350.
Was it 350?
Yeah.
But
see, you got to look at it this way. The PlayStation Pro 350. It has 8 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. It has the overclocked CPU, but it's still the same CPU. It's shipped with a 1 terabyte hard drive. It had a slightly new pad, but not by that much. What else did it have? Yeah, that's about it. So, and it didn't have a Ultra HD Blu-ray player. The Scorpio is shipping with 4 gigabytes of more RAM. It is also going to have a 1 terabyte hard drive. Presumably have a slightly different pad makeup. Not exactly sure what that would be, but when they do these things, they usually tweak the pad for something. So it's a slightly different design.
I think the pad is going to be the same as the one for the S, which is the one with the textured back.
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah.
I did wonder if it was going to ship with an Elite, because they have been dropping quickly.
It might do. It could do. But that's going to put the price up. And then also, you've got the Ultra HD Blu-ray player as well.
I'm
that's on top of what the PlayStation Pro has.
I'm going to go out and say this is going to ship for like 400 to 450.
They might. It might, but that's not
estimate.
Going to be. I doubt that make much money.
They would have to eat quite a lot of the cost, I think. But at this stage, I think they need to. I think it needs to be competitive with the PlayStation, even if they bill it as the premium console. I think they have to be really competitive. But I mean, the things you're saying, it's got 4 gig extra RAM. That's like nothing.
Well, no, RAM has actually gone up in price.
RAM has gone up incredibly quickly in price. But Microsoft have a massive buying power.
That's true. Yeah. Obviously, when you buy in bulk, you get things cheaper. But
it's not even buying in bulk. This is buying in like ridiculous. So it might as well be buying the company that makes the RAM sort of levels of RAM buying. The hard drive, I don't think a terabyte hard drive's not terribly expensive.
Yeah, but it depends if they got a fast speed. It depends what they're doing.
Yeah, and the Blu-ray drive, I guess they would likely say, well, if it's the same drive, and it sounds like it is, and that is in the current PlayStation Xboxes,
I imagine
because you can only get the Xbox One S now. It's probably just like increase the amount we're buying and make them cheaper. So I don't think it's going to be much more expensive. But I mean, certainly, I'm definitely.
Obviously, if it's cheaper, much cheaper, then it's what you want. But I don't know. I can see this coming in quite expensive.
Again, that's going to be one of those things that we don't find out until right at the very end, basically. But
they'll probably release it at E3 what the price would be and the release date.
Yeah, but I am. I mean, it's definitely put the brakes on a bit for me, because although I really want it. Well, I really wanted an Xbox, a PS4 Pro. Now that that's sort of been announced, I'm kind of just like, well, maybe.
I'm not saying I won't get one, because I always like getting new tech. It's just I have this habit of wanting to buy things. I want the Switch as well. At the moment, I don't need it, because I have a PC that's capable and even more capable than this machine, and I can play the Xbox exclusives on my PC. So there's really no reason to buy it. As of yet, they haven't. That might change by the time E3 comes around, and they might give me a reason why I want to buy it. I have the PlayStation Pro, and at the moment, Sony have a very good first-party lineup coming up for the rest of this year and possibly into next year. There's a lot of games there I want to play on that. I need to go through Horizon still. I still need to play Until Dawn, and then there's like Detroit. There's what's it called? Days Gone. There'll be The Last of Us 2. And then there's God of War. There's the next Uncharted standalone game. There's quite a lot.
You've made as much of a case as you're ever going to make for that, I think.
Yeah, it's just that. So I've got that, and I've got my PC. So I don't know if I need this or not. I don't think I do, but like I say, I'm a sucker for new tech.
Yeah. I mean,
The other question is, will I be able to bloody afford it?
That's the.
I just had to sell a load of stuff so I could afford my 1080 Ti.
I mean, they. I guess as with most things, like I do want this. I kind of want I kind of want a Switch, but I've read far too many people say that like they bought a Switch, they've really enjoyed like the 1 or 2 games they had with it.
Yeah.
And since they finished Zelda or whatever it is they finished, that's it. They've not touched it, and it's just gathering dust.
Yeah, but that always happens after a launch. You've got to wait for the games to start coming in, but then they probably not going to have much third-party support, so games are going to be fairly, well, not scarce, but slowly coming on the Switch, especially for the first year. Like I'm sure I said it on the podcast before, I was thinking probably getting one in November once Mario's out, so I'll have both Mario and Zelda to play. I might even let it slip into next year.
Yeah, it's
because I really want to play Zelda. Like, it looks so good.
I think it looks pretty good, to be fair, and it's got really good reviews by all accounts. Perhaps too good, but yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, it's gonna be a choice between it was like PS4 Pro middle of the year, Switch at the end of the year, but now it's looking at sort of like, do I really need a Switch? Wait for a couple of years for the Switch, maybe.
Maybe I'll pick up a second-hand one next year, play through the couple of games I want, and then sell it on. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like this whole thing has really like thrown a massive spanner in the works.
Well, the thing is, I've very much switched to PC gaming now, so that's my primary focus. That's my main gaming platform now. My PS4 Pro is for my PS4 exclusives, which has some really good ones coming out this year.
Some amazing PS4 exclusives. Not so much with the Xbox, actually. There's been a lot of people saying, well, the Xbox exclusives are not great, or there just aren't any.
There isn't any at the moment until they get announced, I guess. There's only Crackdown 3 that I'm looking forward to, but I'm assuming I'm going to be able to play it on my PC, so,
Yeah. Microsoft's showing seems to be quite slim, but then it might just be they're saving it all for E3.
I imagine so, yeah. Because I suppose they might announce another Halo. How cool it would be if they launch the Scorpio with a new Halo.
I don't know. Would that be good?
Well, I'd be buying Halo.
Yeah.
Whether I get it for the Xbox S or I can play it on my PC, I don't. Because that's the other thing. Do they let Halo come to the PC? Because they had the Halo 5 Forge on PC, so you can make levels, but you can't play the game.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. So, do you port? Not port. But do you launch on the PC as Xbox? Because that's really their only game that really sells the Xbox to people.
That is their kind of big game, isn't it?
Yeah. Because you got Halo Wars 2 on PC now, and the original Halo Wars as well. So I just got Halo Wars 2 on mine, which I need to play at some point.
I've not picked up Halo Wars.
Well, I got it free with my processor. I was going to buy it anyway, but it's even better that I got it for free. So yeah, I'll pick up the original Halo Wars as well off the store at some point. But yeah, I don't know. Because you have this access on PC as well, it kind of makes my Xbox defunct because, well, I can have a better experience on my PC playing the same game.
Yeah, I mean, it's really now they've kind of said, right, everything that's going to be on the Xbox is also going to be on the PC. It's kind of made like the actual Xbox itself a bit redundant.
It has, but if you don't have a PC, or you don't have a particularly good PC, and you have the Xbox, obviously you're going to play the games on the Xbox. If you have a really good PC, and the hardcore PC folk aren't really probably that interested in getting a console now, and they go, well, at least I can play these games, so they're going to sell more games either way. It's just, do they sell more consoles? That's the thing.
It's
Are people going to buy, if they've got a high end PC? Are they going to buy an Xbox where they can still play the games on the PC, or are they going to buy a PlayStation for their console or a Switch?
Yeah, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? I guess that's all. It's all a bit subjective at the minute, 'cause no one really knows.
No, I think this is really good. It's definitely good for Microsoft. I think it will sell well. I think a lot of people will upgrade.
A lot of people might upgrade. Would I be surprised if a lot of people did or didn't? Probably not. I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to look. I mean, the console already looks fantastic.
I am interested if it's still going to be, if a game is released, it will work both on Xbox One S and Xbox Scorpio.
They say it should, but who knows?
I mean, so far that's what's happened on PlayStation. So if they're saying that, then it should hopefully stay like that.
Hopefully it will. I guess we just have to wait and see, I suppose.
Well, I think that that brings that to an end, really.
Yeah,
all good news. Everyone should be excited, I think.
I mean, the only other thing is that Nier Automata has been doing surprisingly well, so that's nice for them.
That's good. Yeah, I played a little bit of that on. I think it was. Did I play the demo of that? I think I did. I can't remember now. I've been bed since then.
Yeah. But no, I guess that's it for now, and hopefully we'll have a lot more to go. I say a lot more. That was a lot to talk about.
I'm sure we're going to have lots of drip feeding news all the way up to E3 for it now.
Oh, E3 is going to be a good one this year, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, right. So I guess we will talk to you soon.
Well, we're not going to talk about what we did this week.
Oh, are we going to talk about what we did with it? Oh, Jesus, yeah. Okay, I played Mass Effect.
I played Mass Effect too.
That's it. That's all I've done.
Oh, yeah, we played on Sunday. We played a bit of Dead Space 3.
Well, yeah, I guess so. It's surprisingly hard on a mouse and keyboard. I'm definitely going to try and use a gamepad next time, because
I was using a gamepad as well.
Pain.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm enjoying Mass Effect at the moment.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
I'm about 20 hours in now.
How far am I? I think I am a good 25, 26, something like that.
Yeah. My playtime's slowed down a bit because I'm either playing for about 40 minutes at lunchtime, or I get about an hour or two at the weekend. I just, because I'm doing extra time at work as well, so I haven't got so much time to play. So yeah, I've done that, and then the other thing I've been doing is it was WrestleMania weekend, like I was talking about last week, and Saturday I watched the Hall of Fame, which was 4 hours long, and then Sunday I watched the NXT special, which was 2.5 hours, and then Monday I finished work early, bombed it over to my mates, which was an hour and a half drive from my work, and then we sat down, we watched the kickoff show and then the WrestleMania, and that was 7 hours long, so I didn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's too much wrestling.
It was a very long weekend of wrestling, that's for sure.
I just don't know how you could. Well, I know how you can suffer it. People like this sort of thing, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We were a few hours into Mania, and we finished one of the matches, and I realised we still had 4 matches to go, and it was like 10:30 at night, and we're like, oh my god, there's still 4 left. Yeah, it was crazy. It was good and bad. Mostly good, I think, but
yeah.
That was a long. So I was all week. I've just been kind of catching up on sleep.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Right. Have you got anything else to add before we can go?
No, I haven't. That's it actually.
Right. Well, I guess that's it.
Oh no, I do have one more thing.
Oh come on! I almost got away from you.
Yeah, almost got away from me. I just bought a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, you actually bought one?
Yeah. I got a nice little kit for £50. So I'll be able to, I'm basically looking to make it as an emulation machine, I think.
Yeah, I was sort of looking at them today, but didn't actually pull the trigger.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna put that together at some point over the weekend and hopefully get it working.
I know you won't. It'll go in a drawer like they all do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get frustrated with it and go, this just ain't fucking working. Screw this. But yeah, that's everything.
Good. Okay. Well, let us know how that goes.
I will do. Yeah.
And I'm definitely going because I'm sick of you.
Charming.
I know, right? Okay, so we'll talk to you next week on the not historic 16th episode.
Yeah, you can check us out over at nothingtoplay.co.uk. You're on Twitter and Facebook?
Yeah, as Pondis Plays.
I'm on Twitter as Ivan_Zar, it's spelled ZARR. I'm also on Instagram at Baldbearded Gamer, and I have YouTube as well, Baldbearded Gamer, but like I said, I barely have time to actually put videos up on that. Although I might put a video up about my Retro Pi.
You should. It'd be, yeah. I just want to hear all the swearing.
Yeah, most likely.
Right. Definitely going. So,
Yep.
we will talk to you next week.
Bye.